Hi YouTube, this is Felicia with Bible Scraps, and it has been over a year since I brought a molding technique. But let me tell you, I have been sitting on a revolutionary molding technique for over 2 years, and I'm finally able to bring it your way. If you love to make your own, take your molding to another level and breathe new life to the clear began when I brought you how to make professional molds easy and quick. You're looking at one of the molds here, and check out that one. I made these molds from buttons, and then I brought a video on making molds from your jewelry, which you see the cross there. And then I brought another video. Now this mold don't look as good as these three. I'm probably going to redo this one, but I took the Spellbinders charms. You guys remember that from Tuesday morning when they had them, and I molded those charms to create my own jewelry. But in this video, I have stepped it up 100 notches. Let me show you some pieces that I made. Now, I made these about a year and a half ago. I want to see if you paper crafters, you card makers, you scrapbookers, if you recognize any of these designs. I absolutely love this technique. I love molding in general because you are never without embellishments. But take a look at this. Do you guys recognize what this is? Okay, it's a strawberry. My other piece, oh, here's a leaf. Okay, this is a lollipop, right? And then more leaves. Do you know what this is? It's a macaroon. I know you know what this is. A flamingo. Okay. And let's see. Candy. Do you guys know what I used to create these beautiful embellishments? And my fave, the mason jar. You know, let me just bring out. I shared this, I think it was last Valentine or Valentine season. I shared these cute mason jar embellishments. And here's another one. I need to add the lid to that one. But I used the very technique I'm going to share in this video to create these beautiful mason jar resin pieces. Have you ever seen anything like you guys? So let me show you what But first, let me share the molds. Now, I have a lot of molds. I've done a lot of molding, but take a look at this mold. It's a watermelon slice, and that's what you see here. And then the candy, 2 candy pieces. And take a look at this one. And by the way, don't these molds look nice and professional? I tell you, it costs money to buy molds, but with my technique, you can make them easy, quick, and cheap. Look at my mason jar with the 2 tops. And then check out some. Did you guys figure out what product I used to create my molds and my resin pieces? Well, I used clear stamps by Stamps of Life. And here you could see that beautiful flamingo. And by the way, I created a mold for the larger flamingo as well. But take a look at that. You could take your clear stamps and breathe new life into them and create molds to create resin pieces that match your stamped out images. And you can make as many as you like. You will never run out. How cool is that? So the product that makes this happen, my favorite molding product ever. I have tried what you could buy at Michael's, the putty, didn't work for me. I have even made my own putty, didn't work for me. But let me tell you, this OOmoo 30 gets the job done. These molds, once again, these were created if not over 2 years ago, about 2 years ago. I know for a fact that these were created at least a year and a half ago, and they still look good. They're still usable. This is a great product, you guys. I will have where you could purchase this in the description box. I don't do coffee unless it's paper coffee, but I'm going to create molds from this 2 Paper Divas coffee set. It's a brand new stamp set. It's called Coffee on the Go. Now, your stamp sets do not have to be brand new. I'm just going to play around with that one. And then I think I want some donuts. And so I'll be using this stamp set to create molds. So I thought I was filming and made a boo-boo, cleaned it up, and then realized I am not filming. So what I've already done, well, when you open up your containers, on the top it states to stir well. I have already stirred mine using popsicle sticks. I normally would use Dixie cups, but I'm using these 2-ounce medicine cups. You want to pour equal amounts in both cups. Now this can get messy. You do want to have several pair of gloves on hand. Also, I'm working on a non-stick surface. That's very important because you will make a boo-boo and you want to protect your surface. I like to keep my liners from adhesive, from contact paper, and that's what I'm using. Okay, so I'll clean up my bottles a little bit later. But now that I have my product separated, I'm going to go ahead and stir it some more. The pink product is a lot thicker than the blue. Now I have found you do need equal measurements, but I have found if you are off a bit, it's not going to make a difference. It's still going to work. Okay, you need to pour your product inside of a larger container. You want to get all of it because you do want your product to be as equal as possible. Okay, now you see bubbles there. When you stir it together and as it sits, you shouldn't get any bubbles. Now this product, though it's messy, it's easy to use. It sets really quick. And with my process, you will get professional looking molds. Now what I love about this product, you do have some wait time, some open time. You don't have to rush in fear of your mixture setting too early. So they give you a nice workable time. Okay, and then you stir. You see how the color is changing? You will either get a purple color or I have had a bluer purple color. It works no matter what color, no matter what of those 2 colors that you get. Now when you stir, and I can't use that arm, you want to make sure you stir the sides because you want all of that product to mix. Some of my molds, they come out once again, and I'll show you, purple or a blue color, and I have no problems with either one. I'm working with an injured shoulder and I have to use my non-dominant hand, but I'm not stirring as well. But I think this is good. I'm doing this real time, at least this portion real time. Doesn't take that long to stir. Let me get rid of these. Okay, I like to use, and I've used different products, but my favorite product to mold in are the bottle cap trays that come in different sizes. I picked up some at Tuesday Morning a long time ago, but Joann's probably still carry these. So they come in different sizes, and this is what you need to do. It's really simple, you guys. Take, and truth be told, I really forgot what steps came first. So this is trial and error for me right now. I can't find my notes because, once again, it's been so long since I came up with this technique. But I am removing my clear stamp, and I am going to place it directly face up inside my tray. The thing is, I don't remember if it was face up or face down, but that's okay. And then pour your mixture over you want to fill up your tray. Now, I am remembering one thing perhaps I should have done. Okay. It should be fine. But what I'm going to do for my next mold is add a little bit of oil to my stamp. You can buy mold spray. I've never used it. I think I will try it. But I like to use like cooking oil or olive oil. Okay, so you see there is bubbles. Let it sit for several minutes, and those bubbles should pop. Or you could try to do this. Now, this will be the bottom of your mold, so you won't see that part. Okay, so I'll be back with my oil. Just gonna coat my stamps lightly. I guess that wasn't too light. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use the remainder of my mix. I could tell I'm going to need to make more. So if you use that 2-ounce size medicine cup, you can create, if you use the large bottle cap, you get an idea of how much mixture it creates and how many of these large bottle caps you can make. So yeah, I am going to need to whip up some more. But you see here, basically have no bubbles, and you see here we have bubbles. I'm not going to worry about my bubbles because I need to add more mixture. So what I'm going to do, I am going to add more product, but you know what? I'm not going to measure. I don't recommend you do this unless you know what you're doing. But I'm going to eyeball. I'll worry about that in a sec. Okay, so this one isn't as hard to stir. Now off camera, I'm going to create the mixture for my donuts, but I'll be back in a couple hours to see how this. I have finished up. It's been about a half an hour since I started. It didn't take a half an hour to do this. I had to clean up too. But I just wanted to show you that I have absolutely no bubbles. It still needs to set. But you can take your popsicle stick and pop bubbles. And you see I have two different colors going on. Yeah, but they both should set just fine. So I will be back. It's 12 o'clock. I'll come back about 2 to check on the progress. Okay, so it's 2:30. So it's been at least 2 hours for the first ones I did. Maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it's hard enough to touch. Now, I tell you, in this heat, after about an hour, you'll be able to do this. I think the direction states let it sit for 4 hours before demolding. But during the summertime, I have never waited that long. I did this one first because I remember, oops. So, you see that? This wasted by accident before I had a chance to stir it. And that's why this blue has not set. It's because it was not mixed when it wasted. So I'll just clean this off. The purple part is the part that was mixed correctly. And you use something to help lift the corners. And then you can pop it right out. Clean it if need be. And here is how the front looks. I don't know if I want to demold this yet. Oh, you know, I can. You see how this is peeling back? Now remember with this one, I did not add any oil. Let's see how it comes out. You want to add the oil because sometimes you might get mold mixture on your stamp. That did not happen this time, but you see my stamp was not damaged at all. And here's my mold. If you want to, you could take scissors and trim this excess part here. I might do that. Then again, I might not do it, but the mold looks good. Now, I'm not going to use this yet. I'm going to let it sit for a couple more hours just to make sure. I mean, it's set, but I'm going to go for 4 hours before I add. I'll be back in about an hour to demold these. Alrighty, so it's 3 o'clock, a little after 3. I'm going to go ahead and demold all of my molds. Just take your time to get the corners. Comes out, as you can see, really easy. And look, this one just pops right out. I could still feel the oil on that stamp. And you peel it back. And look at that. Oh, wow, I'm gonna have fun. Okay. This one is nice and thick. I could have made this one a little thicker. The thicker, I guess it depends on what you're molding. But the thicker ones, they feel more durable. Okay, now I had some leftover product, and so I molded a little envelope charm. Probably can't see that, but we'll see how that one comes out. Okay, and you see my stamps. No residue, and my stamps look good as new. Peel back this one. And look, the stamp stayed in the tray. But look at here, look at here. Pops right out. The last time I worked with donuts, well, I had a donut party. I think it was last year. I tell you, I went on a donut eating spree. And this is the last one. Okay, so this was the donut word because you can mold your word stamps. Okay, and that's how this one looks. All right, you guys, isn't this cool? We have just created molds in a matter of a couple, well, 3 hours total, though you can get this done quicker depending on your temperature. But we took our clear stamps and made molds. How cool is that? Many of us have hundreds of different types of clear stamps. Now we can make molds to match our clear stamps so we can in turn make embellished pieces. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a part 2. Actually, I'm going to have a whole molding series. But in part 2, I'm going to come back and we are going to mix together our resin and make these pieces, these coffee pieces and donut pieces. And I'm going to share a technique with you guys. So if you have been inspired by my creativity, why not pause for the cause and give me a big thumbs up? Also, if you are interested in more molding techniques, and you guys, let me tell you, it took me about 2 years to bring this technique to you. Well, I have so many other techniques that I have yet to share with YouTube. If you are interested in my future creativity, why not subscribe? Right now is the perfect time to do so. Feel free to share this video. Feel free to adopt any of my ideas. I only ask for proper credits. Do give shout outs and do link back to this tutorial. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. As always, blessings.